Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to another Truth for Today. I'm Pastor Mike, coming to you from the Lighthouse Baptist Church here in Seagrove. We hope today's devotional thought finds you doing very, very well. We're taking our reading today out of the book of 1 Peter, chapter number 2 and verse number 3. Before I really get to the key verse I want to concentrate on, I want to draw your attention to what led up to the verse. In verse 1 of the chapter, it says this: "Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile, and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby." So we're being taught here, working up to verse 3, to lay aside basically the works of the old man, and instead, as a newborn babe, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. But verse 3 is where the devotion comes in. He says this: "If so be that ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious." In other words, he is saying this: if you have found God to be gracious in your life, then understand this: it's best to lay aside works of the flesh. And because God has been so gracious to you, and that he has saved you and given you a new start, given you a new life in Christ, he said, do this: desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. Really, in essence, it's all really boiling down to this: if God's good to you and been gracious to you, then eat of the nourishment of his word that will cause you to grow in your faith. It's just the way we reciprocate thankfulness. It's the way we say to God, thank you for being so good to me. What would it be like for a parent who had worked hard on the job all week long? And for you mothers out there, you'll be able to relate to this. You go by the grocery store and, man, you buy up buggies of food and you take it home to your family, and it's the bounty of your labor. What would it be like if you got there, and we've experienced this to some degree, your kids are kind of snooty about it. I don't really want that. They push it off, and to you would be like, you don't understand how much hard work and labor it took to get that to the home and put it on the table. It would be a little bit offensive. Well, what God is saying is this: is if you and I have tasted that the Lord is gracious, then it makes sense that we would take what he offers to us by way of nourishing us as his child, and we would desire it. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. You know, when God saves us, he don't want us to stay children, newborn babes, or babes in Christ for the rest of our life. He wants to grow us up into adulthood and maturity, so that he can use us to be part of the maturation process of the generations that'll follow. Wouldn't it be a blessing as a Christian to be one of those key figures that God used to help others that are introduced to the family by faith to grow in their faith? If God's been gracious to you as he has been to me, then what we ought to do is continually desire that word, grow in our faith, let God use us for his glory, and make that part of our journey, part of our goal to walk in that way for the rest of our days. We hope today's devotional thought will lift your spirits, encourage your heart, and as always, may the Lord richly bless you today, is our prayer.